Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna take a look at the Morphtronics, which recently had legacy support released in the form of Morphtronic Telefon. As a little disclaimer, these videos are not supposed to be the most comprehensive and complex guides. I'm here to give you a quick overview of the deck, a basic combo, so you can decide if you want to craft it for yourself and what the deck is all about. Now getting into it, the Morphtronic Telefon is the king of the castle. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can roll a 6-sided die, gain life points equal to the result, and then you can special summon one Morphtronic monster from your grave with a level equal or lower than the result. And because it's a dice, the lowest we can roll is a 1, meaning that we can always summon back another Telefon. And as this effect isn't a hard once per turn, and it doesn't exclude itself, means that we can loop our Morphtronic Telefons essentially infinitely, meaning that we can do some crazy plays and go into some very strong monsters. Now going through the cards card by card in the deck, we have Morphtronic Telefon. While in attack position, you can roll a 6-sided die, reveal cards from the top of your deck equal to the roll, and special summon one level 4 or lower Morphtronic monster from among them, ignoring the summoning conditions, and then shuffle the back rest into the deck. The defense position effects of most of these doesn't matter. We're gonna focus on the attack one. This allows us to search for a Telefon, which can be excellent, and then we can loop it, link it off into a Link Rebo, use the Telefon's effect to summon it back, and because it's not hard once per turn, we can roll another die and keep escalating. Morphtronic Telefon can special summon itself by banishing a Morphtronic from our graveyard. And while in attack position, you can roll a 6-sided die, excavate that many cards from the top of your deck, and add a Morphtronic card to your hand and shuffle the rest back into the deck. A good target here being Morphtronic Repair Unit, allowing us to special summon from our grave a Morphtronic monster by sending a monster from our hand. Moving on, we have Maxi, for obvious reasons. Mecha Phantom Beast Olion, because it combos well with the Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon, and Auroradon requires machine monsters, which we are running, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Remoten is another Morphtronic, and while in attack position, you can target a Morphtronic monster in your graveyard, banish that target, and add a Morphtronic monster with the same level as the target from your deck to your hand. So it's an excellent searcher card, and we can potentially search out a smartphone, and then use its effect to keep searching. Ash, because it's Ash, and Ghost Bell, because I find it annoying when people call by my Maxi. Gadget Gamer, when normal summoned, can add a level 1 machine monster from our deck to our hand, and then we can tribute it to special summon a Morphtronic monster from our hand, and then special summon a Gadget Hauler from our hand or deck, which is this guy, who can once per turn send any number of Morphtronic monsters from your hand to the graveyard to gain attack, which means that we can set up our graveyard for Telefon plays. We use the Gadget Gamer to search out a Telefon, tribute the Gadget Gamer to special summon out the Gadget Hauler and the recently searched Telefon, and then if we have another Telefon in hand, we can send it using Gadget Hauler and summon it back using the Telefon's effect. This is a nice little starter for us, and it's excellent. Harpy's Feather Duster, because back row is annoying. Machine Duplication, a classic card. Target one machine monster you control with 500 or less attack, special summon up to 2 monsters from your deck with the same name as that face-up monster. So if we start with a Machine Duplication and a Telefon, we are off to the races. And I loved seeing I got this in Royal, because I actually had this in first edition in the Ultimate Rare printing, from the first ever printing of Machine Duplication. So that was fun. 1 for 1, because it's a Morphtronic Telefon, essentially. Junk Box for recursion, same as the Repair Unit. Small World for searching out our Morphtronic Telefon, self-explanatory. And then Called by the Grave, which is of course also self-explanatory. And that is gonna wrap up the main deck. Now we're gonna take a look at the extra deck. First slot here is Formula Synchron. It's a level 2 Synchro monster. and when it is synchro summoned, you can draw one card, and then once per chain during your opponent's main phase, you can synchro summon using this card you control. Which is quite good, and it doesn't really come up that much. We usually use it just for the draw effect, together with potentially a T.G Hyper Librarian, then maybe stack those for an Ancient Fairy Dragon, and we keep climbing from there. Herald of Arclight, because it's a negate, always good to have a negate. But the number 4 that we're mostly going to go into is Irfan, as it is a Earth, and together with a Telefon that makes a Naturia Beast, which is infinite spell card negates, which is very good in this era of Sprite and Runic. T.G Hyper Librarian is a beast of a card, but it is a spellcaster. If a monster is synchro summoned, draw one card. This card must remain face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. So if we have T.G Hyper Librarian on the board and then make a Formula Synchron, we get the Pot of Greed. And then if we can continue to combo while keeping the T.G Hyper Librarian, we get to keep drawing cards, hopefully drawing into some solid hand traps for the turn after. Coral Dragon is another drawer, but it can also destroy a card our opponent controls by discarding. And discarding can be quite good for us, as we can then use, if we have a Telefon locked in hand, we can then discard it and then summon it back with the Telefon. And if it's synchro summoned and sent to the field, from the field to the graveyard, you can draw one card. Then we have the recently errata'd and unbanned Ancient Fairy Dragon. We're mostly using this for its first effect. During your main phase, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand. You cannot conduct the battle phase the turn you activate this effect, which isn't a big deal if you're going first, but it's important to keep track of that if you're going second. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is a monster negate and can modulate its attack power. It's a decent endpoint, but even better is Boreload Savage Dragon. Together with Auroradon, these two make a quite easy loop to get this out with 3 negates and 4000 attack. And it's just an excellent card. Same with Baron the Floor, a premier synchro summon. It is a Omni negate with destruction and can once per turn destroy a card on the field. Very good. Ensemble Robin gains 500 attack for each material attached to it. If your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can detach one material from this card, target one of those special summon monsters, and return it to the hand. So it's more interaction, and if we end on a couple of Morphtronics that we don't have anywhere to put, we can go into an Ensemble Robin and end our combo with that most of the time. Link Kuriboh, because we play level 1s, and if we have 2 Morphtronic Telefons on the field, we can link one off into Link Kuriboh and then summon it back with the Telefon's effect, the other Telefon. Barricade Board Blocker, mostly because it's a machine, that's essentially why we play it. We don't play any continuous or field spells, so its effect doesn't matter, but it's a machine for Mecha Phantom Beast or Auroradon. This guy is one of our centerpieces in this deck, because if it's link summoned, we can special summon 3 level 3 tokens, we can link summon for the rest of this turn, and then once per turn you can tribute up to 3 monsters and activate one of these effects. If we tribute 1 monster, we can destroy 1 card on the field. If we tribute 2 monsters, we can special summon 1 Mecha Phantom Beast monster from our deck. And if we tribute 3, we can add a trap from our graveyard to our hand. We don't play traps, so we never use that effect. Mostly what we use it for is tributing it itself and a token to summon out a Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion, which is level 8, meaning that we can go into a Boreload Savage Dragon and equip the Auroradon immediately after, giving this 3 negates and 4000 attack. Finally, Apollousa, because it's quite easy for us to get 4 things on the board, so we can often have a 3200 Apollousa, together with like a Boreload Savage Dragon and a Naturia Beast. And that is going to wrap up the extra deck. We're going to take a look at a combo now, and then I'm going to wrap up with my final thoughts and telling you to like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Alright, so this is going to be the basic Morphtronic combo guide. Starting with Telefon and Machine Duplication, meaning that we're super golden here. We're going to go into 3 Telefons immediately. Then link one of them off for a YuGiOh. Put that right there. And then we can start looping. So we're gonna use the Morphtronic Telefon to summon out another Telefon. That was really silly, putting it in defense position. Thankfully it doesn't matter much, because we can just loop it again. Send that away, go into Barricade Board Blocker, cancel its effect, use Telefon again, to summon back our Telefon. Then, right here, we can tribute one of them for the YuGiOh, and then go into a 3-piece Appaloosa, giving us some much needed negation and protection in our next turn. Then we can truly get to looping with a Telefon, summon out a Telefon, use the second Telefon to summon yet another Telefon. And then at this point we can go into a Auroradon, and then we're gonna activate Auroradon, summoning out its 3 tokens. 1, 2, and 3. Use the Auroradon's effect to pop itself and one of the tokens to special out a Olion. And as you can see, we have the smartphone in hand, which is going to be relevant later. We're going to do the 1, 2, 3 for the Boardload Savage Dragon. Activate its effect and the Olion in grave. Olion's gonna resolve, summoning out the token we tributed to summon it out. And then we can equip the Auroradon to the Boardload Savage Dragon. And we can do Junk Box, and we can keep going. So we summon out one of our Telefons. And surprise, surprise, we're gonna use Telefon to summon another Telefon, and then use the Telefon to summon out yet another Telefon. There we go. Then we go into Earphone. Put that right here. Its effect here can come up, but in this current line it's not. We can then go into a Naturia Beast. Can put that right here. And that's gonna give us infinite spell negates. Then we can do Telefon to special summon out. Guess what? A Telefon. Then we're gonna use Telefon to summon out another Telefon. And then from here we can go into a Ensemble Robin for 3, giving us 3 bounces on our opponent's turn as well. So, in total with this board, not counting the Morphtronic smartphone, we have 3 bounces with the Lureless Ensemble Robin, infinite spell and trap negates in Naturia Beast, 3 monster negates with Appaloosa, and a Omni negate in Boardload Savage Dragon. And that is going to conclude a basic combo with this deck. We can of course go further here with smartphone, and we could have kept one of our Telefons and kept comboing. But this is a basic setup. It's going to be quite easy to get this out there, and you're going to see this combo most of the games you run. So we're going to jump into my final thoughts on the deck and telling you to like and subscribe. Alright, so wrapping up here with the Morphtronics. I really enjoy this deck, and it has some true power. If your opponent doesn't draw enough interruption, you can truly get off the races with just a machine duplication and a Morphtronic Telefon. We have more extensions, as you saw in Junk Box. Morphtronic Repair Unit can fill that slot as well. We can go in, I didn't show it in the combo we did now, but you can go into T.G Hyper Librarian and just start drawing like crazy. We have Ancient Fairy Dragon, which we can go into off a Gadget Gamer to then special summon out another Telefon from hand. So if we open a Gadget Gamer and a Telefon, we're off to the races as well. Small World helps our consistency, it helps us search, since we don't have the dice support released in Master Duel as of yet. But yeah, I think this is a really cool deck. I'm so happy that they included the Morphtronic Telefon in the latest selection pack. And I highly recommend you guys test this thing out. if you're not stuck in the sprite madness, which is currently on the ladder. But yeah, remember guys to always like and subscribe, leave a comment if there's anything you want me to explain or if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.